All right. So now we're going to do a little bit of Rav Nsson on Yisro. Rav Nsson on Yisro. What does Rav Nsson say? Here's the shtick of Rav Nsson. So we have Rav Nsson. So Rabbi Nachman says mitzvah gedola. Two things. What does he say? Well, the two gedola Rabbi Nachman says. There's one famous thing and one not so famous thing.
Yes, with Simcha.
That's right. Lips and Talmud is one. That's correct. And what's the other one? No, that's okay. That's a different point. It's true. I'm not saying it's not true, but Enoch was saying something else. I think people who sing that song miss his point, which is that the etzem simcha, every mitzvah is like the Rebbe Chaim says, has a mitzvah attached to it. So the etzem simcha, the mitzvah, right? That, and you're always supposed to involve the mitzvah. So therefore, it's a very big mitzvah to always be happy, to have the simcha mitzvah no matter what, because the Rebbe Chaim says that the simcha the mitzvah is the higher than the mitzvah itself. Once you're doing a mitzvah, the simcha, because you have to feel appreciative and understand the greatness of every mitzvah that you're doing. See, it's nitzcha, it's eternal. So it's not really smart to say, oh, it's simcha gedolah from Talmud. It's true, but it totally cuts the message, right? The idea is to realize that simcha as a state is a wholly positive state. It's a state where it's possible to have the Shekhinah with you, otherwise it's not shaykh. You can't have Shekhinah with you, usually, most people. Not normal. Yaakov, there's different Bechina. He didn't have what he wanted, or he used to have. He had a Bechina of the Shekhinah, whatever. Well, it's a different discussion. Marbali, I think, goes into it. But maybe it's, I don't remember. But they bring this idea. He had some Bechina, but not the whole Bechina, so you couldn't have Ruchakot. Whatever, fine. Most people, you're not happy, you can have a shaykh to Shekhinah.
You know you're doing something right, and then there's when you're pushing through and you're like, hey, I'm doing the right thing, but then then you can't just be happy. It's not like it's an emotion. It's like, I'm happy now.
It's an avoda, but it's also a choice though. It's an attitude. Again, it's my attitude. It's really my attitude. Now the truth is, you're saying something also that's very true, which is this: that like the morale says, and nobody argues on this concept, that what really gives satisfaction and joy is completion. That's why when you do something, you feel satisfied, especially something that's really important. That's why Hashem made the world. So no one's arguing on that. The point is, Rav Nachman said it's kedai to work on strategy to be happy and realize that I have a bechin of shleimus ech shlo yeh, and I should be happy never ech shlo yeh. And yeah, in Chanami, do the shleimus, get to that place of doing the shleimus. But to realize that when I feel depressed, I feel happy. A lot of that has to do with my thoughts, and those are in my control. So you're right, Father, when a person's really ill, we're talking about tikun habris, right? You really have a tikun habris, of course you can always be happy. What are you kidding? Like, push it. But that's, it's not, like that's the Medrash says, you're just always happy. Yisro, always happy. It's joy, you're joyous. So that's fine, very good. So now, Rav Nsson explains, Rav Nsson explains something very powerful here. You have to know that everything is a matter of clarifying sparks. Everything is clarifying sparks. He said you have to wake up and to understand that I'm learning the Torah to clarify the sparks, to find especially the right eitzes and how to really serve Hashem, how to connect with Hashem. The Zohar calls the Torah Taryag Itin, 613 pieces of advice to connect to Hashem. That's what the Torah is. So we need to really, on the one hand, I have to know that everything I learn is eternal and forever and connects me to Hashem. And I'm picking up all these beautiful sparks. I'm being Mivara Birur. It's a long Birur. It says you can't do it in a moment. It takes a lot of time. We have this long gullus, we have a long time. We're working and this clarification, that clarification, the other clarification. We need to realize, to understand that slowly but surely things get picked up, things get uplifted. And that's, of course, the story with Rabbi Akiva, right? Rabbi Akiva, he tried to learn and he felt like it wasn't making an impression, the way the Leo explains. Right, from Rav Nsson, right? This not making an impression. It's not. She's like, what's the point? It's not helping. When he saw the water penetrating the stone, he realized it is making an impression. I just don't feel the impression yet. But it's gonna bore right through my heart, right through, get right in there, make it happen. So you have to. It's making an impression. It's a beer. It just takes time. It takes time. So if it takes time, it's okay. You wait. You're patient. And eventually you'll be zocher. A person has to really want. It's not easy to really break through. It's not easy. It's like there are many barriers, many things holding us back. You have to work very, very hard on overcoming them. The story that our Kalin, around Kalin, and someone said to him, he saw that one of the students really started thinking about Tzliach and Avoda. He's like, you help Ploni, why can't you help me? I need your help, it's not working, I can't, my heart's just not in it for some reason. So Rav said, listen, I haven't yet found the key to your heart yet. She said, what do you mean? So break down the door. The key. He said, oh, no, now it's open. If you really want, you have to really want, you have to really yearn, you have to really long. Like that's gonna do it for you. That's gonna make it happen. You can't. It's not pashut, but nevertheless, when you realize that there's a birur, and every word of Torah, every drop of Torah makes a difference. That's very, very powerful. So you're gonna understand, like you'll get where you need to get. You'll go where you need to go. That's the incredible koach of Torah. I always say from right. The Jewish people, the way it is with us is that we have a certain. There are certain things that you need to do. If you do these things, generally speaking, you're protected and you stay a Jew. If you don't, it's very hard. Like generation, even you have to be keeping Shabbos, Kashrus, Tasmos Bacha. Those things are very, very, very important, and they really keep the Jewish people focused, connected. And we have a very special smira, very special protection from the high when we're doing those things. Mark Twain wondered how do we manage, and the real answer is the Torah. The Torah, it's an incredible, it insulates us, protects us. It's an unbelievable thing. The koach of what the Torah is. We're doing a birur because we're really working, and you don't see it, you don't feel it, you don't understand it, but really what you're doing, what we're doing is tremendously important for the whole world. We're picking up sparks, we're doing these birurim, and you have to realize it takes time and be very, very strong, be very, very chazak, not to let go, no matter what, not to let yourself fall away, To realize that I have a purpose, and I'm sent for this purpose. It's a beautiful story with the Rav Yaakov Galinsky. He said one time he's walking in Chadera, so I'm going to give a lecture somewhere, whatever, whatever. And he said, I thought that there was some lunatic. He's the guy, like, he did brakes. I'm like, what's he like? In the middle, he's like, what are you, like, why? He's like, what's this guy? He's like, Yankele. He's like, oh, I guess I know this lunatic. Like, whatever. So the guy's like, Yankele. He's like, he's not recognized. So finally, he comes over and they're talking. He's like, wow, you saved my life. You remember me? Children, grandchildren. He's like, I said, finally, he said, yeah, I remembered. He said, after the Holocaust, he'd come to Eretz Yisrael and he was broken to pieces. And he was like, I just want to kill myself. Like, I'm done. I can't live this way. It's terrible. I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not going to get anywhere. Everything's gone. Everyone's gone. They all left. I want to join them. I'm done. I can't want to be here. So Yaakov is like, listen, it's a very chash v'yid, a tzaddik. His name's a chazanish. You can always kill yourself after you, but you don't have to. You don't have to rush. Don't rush into it. You might regret it. You don't have to come talk to him. So he went to the chazanish, and the chazanish said, "You learn yeshiva, right?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "So tell me, what happens if somebody who doesn't own money, he's a shliach, or a woman in a situation where the husband's the owner of the money, he brings the money, he owns the money. She has a job, and it's not necessarily the case. It could be the other way. It's her choice. It's for her benefit that he owns her money. If not, so she says, let's separate the accounts and her money and his money. That's the normal way. It's where he has to feed her, otherwise he doesn't feed her. Like she doesn't want to feed her. She's like, what do you mean I'm making much more than you? Like, I just want to have my money. It's different, but in the situation where it's his money. So most normal people, a person who loses money, it's called, he's assumed to have despaired on the money, and it's over. He does not, the finder gets to keep it. He does not have any claim on the money. Because it's assumed that someone actually told the Chazanish, I didn't realize, I didn't check my pockets, I didn't know, so it's not really ish. What do you mean, I didn't check? The Chazal say, he's like, no, Chazal were telling us that that's a general fact, so they made it a blanket halakha. It doesn't matter what you personally did. It's God.
Like under a certain amount of money, it might that true? Maybe it's spoken by maybe you're slaying dust, and then you might not be able to keep it. That's not true.
I don't know. That's a good point. There's a lot of discussion. We could talk about a lot of things. But is there a siman? Isn't there a siman? It's assuming there's no siman. But actually, one way or the other way, bottom line is, assuming there's no siman, assuming there's nothing else to talk about, but it's presumed that he has he has given up on it. That's usually the way it works. He gave up. So he gave up. Because it doesn't matter what you're thinking. Now, if it's some messenger, or if the wife, it's not her money, whatever it is. So what happens then? He says, it's not called yish. It's not called yish because the man who the money's not with him. He's the owner. He didn't give up. So it doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter what the messenger or the wife what they thought. So he said, oh, that's exactly your situation. He said, you are not the owner on yourself to be able to give up on yourself. So you don't own. There is a master, the Baruch. He brought you here. I'm sorry you went through such difficult times. She said, but you don't get to decide, like, I had enough, I'm checking out of here. You have a purpose. If you're here, if Hashem wants you to leave, you leave. You have a purpose. You're here for a reason. You're here for a reason. It's not a pushta thing. It's not a pushta thing. And he said he stuck to it. And then she got married, had kids, grandchildren. He's like, things change around. You don't have to, just because it's leaking out doesn't mean, again, there's a beer, there's something happening. It's very hard. Some people go through very difficult things. Can't judge someone else, but chaval to be in this place of years, just give up, just despair. What are you doing that for? Fine. So this is very much this Indian of what it is that the Jewish people are doing through all of these generations. Really, through learning Torah, through fulfilling the Torah, we're making this very deep clarification and fixing everything in the most amazing ways. And we don't know what a mitzvah, especially mitzvah nefesh. We have no idea where it goes. We have no idea what it does. I'll tell another favorite story, the Chazon Ish. I guess we'll end this issue with that. The Chazon Ish. One time, this guy, he was very secular. He got off the derech after the Holocaust also, and he had a dream. Father came to him. He said, "You should go to the Chazon Ish. This guy, Karel, so he never really heard of him." In Bnei Brak, this place, and he'll help you do tshuva, He wakes up, he's like, oh, what a weird dream I had. Going back to the office, like, I don't care. The next day, same thing. Again, he's starting to feel like really jittery. He's like, he can't sleep without getting dreams. Weird. He doesn't know what. So he confronted his boss, coworker, whatever, his partner, or whatever. I was like, I don't know, it's really weird. I was like, oh, you're obviously overworked. Come live with me. Take 2 weeks off, siesta, relax. Drink a little, And he went to the guy's house, 2 weeks, it was very geschmack, some pool, a beach, whatever, everything's good. He's got a tan, he had his drink, he took it easy, really went out, really let it all out, really enjoyed himself. 2 weeks later, he's like, I feel better, I feel great, thank you very much, amazing. Hopefully be to work tomorrow. So he drives up to his house, gets out, opens his door, he's like feeling great, opens the door, turns the light, his father's sitting at the kitchen table. His deceased father. He's like, listen, either you go to the Chazon Ish tomorrow or you join me here. It's up to you, whatever you want. And he's like, I'm not asleep. He's like completely, you told me relax. Yeah, it's not from dreaming. So he went to Chazon Ish and he gets in the Chazon Ish. The Chazon Ish before he says, and he said, your father came to me a while ago already. He's like, what? Right? Okay. So the Chazon Ish said, tell me, what did you do to get such a schus? Most people, they can go through life without any direction. And nothing happens. You had a big merit. What's your merit? I was like, well, I helped a lot of people. I was like, nah, that's not going to do it. Well, I did this, I do charity, nah. Finally, he remembered his cousin was killed, and his father told him, they're just laying there in the snow. His father said, you have to have a kibbutz Yisro. So he risked his life to bury the person, to help the person. He said, oh, that's what did it. He doesn't have to miss his nefesh for Torah, for something good, to try to help someone. He has no idea what kind of koach he's doing. He has no idea what it means. Just incredible. We don't know. We don't get the cheshbonos. We don't understand what's happening. But there's something completely different going on. So again, you learn a little Zohar, a little deeper Sfarim, and you start to see there's a whole different world. What you're doing with these mitzvahs, where they're going, or how they're affecting. It's unbelievable. We speak about Shabbos. The Rav Chaim, one of his big seminal concepts that he talks about in Shabbos, time after time, is that one way or the other way, when you do a malacha, and this is from the Riyah, from the Zohar, when you do whatever malacha it is, generally speaking, what you're doing is you are clarifying, you're doing something to make something usable, right? It's creative labor, my father likes to call it, to make something more usable, make it happen, right? He said that makes a special kind of connection to Hashem. but it's a clarification. That clarification doesn't happen on Shabbos. Shabbos is talking about when all the clarifications of the whole week are uplifted, so you can't do it. It's very, very much what he goes through. So it comes out that when you're, kneading the dough to make challah, I don't know, whatever, lishma, when you're doing the tochen, we're doing all the different things. That's an aspect of throwing out the bad and keeping the good and connecting the good. It's like you're doing all these amazing things. You're not doing, you think, right? Lisha is lush yud k. Lisha is lush yud k. Like, right? All of these things have their muzzin and yanim, what you're doing and how you're doing it, and what's really happening with them. It's very, you read about these things, it's just like, it's unbelievable. They're really what's happening, like parallels things, spiritual things that are unbelievable things. They're very, very elevated things. So it's important to understand that there's a totally different reality happening. We're making a beer, we're doing a beer, and the person has to, you're looking for the emes, you're looking for change, and you have to be very patient. You have to be very, you don't know what's really happening. Rav Nsson brings this idea, like sometimes a person, he failed here, he failed there, but like it's just like in a battlefield. When you're in a battle, when you do something big, it was pretty easy for you, but you worked out, did something very big, made a big pu'ula, made a big deal, and you can be promoted in a minute to a general. He says the same thing, you can fix everything. One little thing even. Sometimes even one little thing. Hashem can help you, send you the right thing. You just have to hold on and be strong. Hashem's going to help.